Let's emphasize her eyes with the Emphasize Eye Design palette in Unblinking. Our first step is going to be using the cream foil eyeshadow as a base. So this one is called 24 Karat Gold. And to apply it, I'm going to use my Dual concealer brush. The DUET concealer brush is awesome for applying any cream or powder product. It doesn't only have to be used for concealer. I love to use it as eyeshadow too. So you apply a little bit with the flat end and then buff it quickly with the buffing end. So our first step is going to be to use cream foil in 24 karat on her eyelids. I'm using the DUET concealer brush. I'm going to apply with the flat end and then flip it around to the buffing end to move the product. So apply it right to the center of the eye, and then before it dries, you want to work quickly to buff it out. Now you can layer this up. Just do it in thin sheer layers. Let it dry in between so that you can build up the color and the texture to where you want it. So I'm going to add another layer just for intensity right in the very center of her eye. You'll notice in just a moment how it catches the light and really draws attention to the center of the eye. So that's 24 karat gold right in the very middle. I'll do this one to match. So right in the center, apply with the flat end of your DUET concealer brush and then quickly buff it out with the fluffy end. Awesome. Now that we've prepped our eyes with the cream foil color, we're gonna use the nude colored eyeshadow, that's this medium brown shade, just to create a little soft dimension to the eye. And then later on, we're gonna add some of the deeper shades to really intensify. So load your eyeshadow base brush by working the product into the back of your hand before you apply it to the eye. This will help prevent fallout, especially since we just did a beautiful complexion. I don't want eyeshadow to fall down on her cheek. Chin up for me and look down. Great. I'm gonna apply starting at the outer corner and then work my way through the crease. So I'm really just following her natural eye shape, tracing her mobile lid and really hugging the eye socket with the brush. So going right between the brow bone and the eyeball just to create that little bit of dimension. The shadow brush is perfect for this because it's the right shape to really go right through the crease of the eye. Now I'm gonna take the same shade to do the other side. So this is Nude from the Emphasize palette. Look down. And the way the brush is shaped, it's gonna hug that outer corner of the eye for the perfect placement, right between the eyeball and the brow bone. And then from there, we stretch the color into the crease, and we're gonna round it all the way to that inner corner. So this is what we call a halo technique, where you're dark around the edges, but you've got that nice pop of light in the center of the eye. This is designed to make the eyes look more open and a little bit bigger. I love this for the fact that it gives some beautiful dimension to the eye shape. The brush goes right up against the eyeball between the brow bone, and we work it into the crease, back and forth. And then we're gonna connect to that inner corner of the eye, but we are mindful not to connect it to the bridge of the nose. Open up so we can see the results. Awesome. So it's a nice soft sculpted eye, but this isn't enough. I want to take it up a notch. We're going to go a little bit more glamorous. So to do that, I'm going to switch back over to my DUET concealer brush because of the precision that I get with the size of the brush. I'm going to take a little bit of the darker shade of eyeshadow from the palette. This is like a deep espresso color, and you work it into the brush before you take it to the skin. This will help prevent fallout. So using the flat side of the brush, I'm gonna put a little bit of this depth of color just in the outer corner and then flip the brush around to blend. I'm gonna add more. You can take the intensity as much as you want. You can keep adding until you get it as dramatic as you like. Great. Turn this way. I'm gonna do the same thing on the inner corner. Use the flat side of the brush to deposit your color on that inner corner, and then flip the brush around to buff it out. So we'll take a little espresso, work it into the bristles, and apply it to the outer corner of the eye with the flat side of the brush, and then quickly buff it out with the buffing end of the brush. This is the quickest way to be precise and get the intensity that you want from your eyes. I love this because it's so easy to go from daytime to nighttime, or to go from really natural to dramatic with just the addition of one other shade. So it's really nice to build your eyeshadow look from a natural look into a more dramatic look. And you just build your intensity slowly. You don't have to go straight into your darkest eyeshadow unless you're going for a really, really dramatic look. it's nice to start with that really soft brown, and then it might be enough. Maybe you do more of a dramatic lip and keep the eyes really natural, depending on what your needs are. So again, with your deepest shade, you don't want to pull it all the way to the bridge of the nose. You want to keep it really tight to the eye. Open up so we can see. So you'll see we get these nice points of intensity in the corners and a point of highlight in the center. And if you want to, you can take your clean brush. This is a clean eyeshadow based brush, just to soften and blend a little bit more. So I'm not adding any product. I'm really just softening and blending down the color. Now we've got all this beautiful contour and a nice highlight, but I think we can take it up a notch. Next, we want to take a little bit of the lightest shade from the palette, work it into the brush, and we're going to pop this right under the arch of the brow. And this is a very natural matte finish for this color, so it's not going to be super dramatic. We're going to keep all the drama on the center of the lid. A really cool feature about this palette is that it also comes with a nice iridescent or dual chrome eye color in the center. And to apply this, your best friend is your finger. So with your ring finger, pick up a little bit of product, and then with the eye closed, we're going to press it right into the middle. So this is going to really take our highlight another level. So keep in mind, you can stop at any point. You don't have to keep layering products on, but I want to show you the versatility in the palette and how you can use it in many different looks. So I love what this does for the eye. You'll see in just a moment, she's going to open up and you're going to see how it pops the center of the eye forward. So just like we highlighted and contour the face, the whole idea behind eye technique is the same idea of highlight and contour. The dark pushes back and the light brings forward. Open up, so you can see how that really pops out the color. You can see how it brings the eyes forward and creates a nice dimension to the look. Let's take a little bit of these same colors and work them underneath. So I'm going to start with the darker shade this time instead of the lighter shades. And I'm going to work this from the outer corner inward on the bottom. So if she can look straight up, with just the very tip of the brush, deposit your color, clean your brush on a tissue, and then continue to stretch that color across the eye. From the outer corner inward. I like to connect to the upper lid too a little bit. So now we'll do the other side. Same thing, work the product into the bristles before you take it to the face. Starting in the outer corner, deposit your color, clean your brush on a tissue, and then continue to stretch that color across the eye. So we want it the darkest and the thickest in the outer corner. And as it works its way in, it gets a little bit skinnier and lighter in shade. Our next step is to pop a little bit of that cream foil color on the bottom lid too. So I'm going to take the cream foil 24 karat gold, all from the same palette. This is the Emphasize Eyes Design palette. And I'm going to apply this in the inner corners of the eye. So I just cleaned my brush on a tissue to remove any dark color, and we'll just pop a little bit right in here. This is going to open up the eye shape and make the eyes look really open and big. Great. That looks great.